Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to start a new load development process for a brand new rifle. A brand new rifle that I've never used before, never shot before, and never ever developed a load before. As you can see in this Excel spreadsheet, I have all the components here that I want to use. I have some numbers. The numbers in black are measured values. The values in red are calculated, computed values, and this guy here, the cartridge overall length, which is just an informational value, is blue. In columns D, E, and F, I have the reloading data from Hornady and Hodgdon, the two manufacturers that I'm going to use. And as you can see, the minimum load is different in the Hornady manual and different in the Hodgdon manual. So which value is true? Which is safe to start with? My method in this case is very simple. I always take the higher number from these two. So in this case, it's going to be 39.5 grains. And I do just the opposite for the maximum load if they do not match. Like in this case, Hornady says the maximum should be 42.9 grains, and according to the Hodgdon manuals, you can go up to 43.5 grains. So in this case, I take the lower value, which is 42.9 grains, and I determine my safe load to be between 39.5 and 42.9 grains. Why do I do that? Why do I follow this method? It's very easy. Basically, any load between 38.1 grain and 39.5 grains is only considered safe by one manufacturer, but not the other. Similarly, with the maximum load, any charge between 42.9 grains to 43.5 grains is only considered safe by one manufacturer, not the other. Okay, so all the reloading books, all the reloading manuals tell you that safety comes first. So when you start a new load development process, you always need to start with the minimum load. I do that, except that I added a 0.5 grains. I'm not going to start with 39.5. I'm going to start with 40 grains, but that's very, very close to the minimum load. And that is surely safe to start with. That's a safe value. What's next? I need to open Gordon's reloading tool, GRT, or any other software that you prefer to use. My preference is GRT. And I start with a brand new file. It's important to know that even if you developed any other load before this software for the same caliber, maybe using the same components, don't modify an existing file, which is already customized. It's important to start with a fresh, brand new file. So first, I'm going to start with the caliber. That's going to be 6.5 Creedmoor. I take all the default values. Then I go and select projectile, which is going to be LDX 143 grains. And I take all the default values. And finally, I pick my powder, which is Winchester Stubble 6.5. There you go. And before I do anything else, I need to save the file. I'm going to override this file here. And as I always do, I'm trying to give a descriptive name to the file. So that's going to tell me caliber, the powder, and the bullet straight away without even opening the file in GRT. So I save the file, override the previous version. Now it's time to customize our file. So let's start with the rifle properties. So the barrel diameter is that comes from the caliber, so we don't need to modify that. But we do need to modify the case length. I go back to my Excel spreadsheet. Case length is 1.911. My case volume is 50.50. The cartridge length is 2.850. Okay, and the barrel length. So my barrel length 613 millimeters. Again, if you click on the ruler icon, you can always go back to imperial if that's what you prefer to use. Save the changes. And you can specify some additional optional parameters like the gun weight. Those are not taken into consideration when GRT does the calculation. Next, go to the projectile properties, and we can specify the projectile mass, which is 143.1. 143.1. Bullet length is 1.430. Seating depth will be 0.497. Okay, by the way, if I go back to the Excel spreadsheet, you may have noticed in line 17 that the bullet jump, that is the distance between the bullet, the ogive of the bullet, and the lens, the starting of the rifling is almost 0.3 inches, which is a little bit more than 7 millimeters. That's quite a big distance, but that's not unusual, especially with European firearms producers. It's not unusual to see such a big distance between ogive and the lens. That is normal, that is safe. And by the way, again, this is not an old rifle that's been shot a million times. This is a brand new rifle. So we go back to GRT, changes again. And it's time to move on to the gunpowder. Since we don't have any measured data for this, at least not at this point, we don't need to modify anything in the gunpowder properties. The only thing we need to modify is the powder mass, the charge that we want to use, and that is going to be 40 grains. Again, I changes. And basically, there we are. GRT tells us that if we use this recipe and we load 40 grains of this powder into that case and seed that bullet, we can expect a muzzle velocity of 2,590 feet per second. The next step is to actually do the hand loading and assemble like I say at least five runs. 3 is, if you ask me, 3 is not enough. 10 would be better, but nobody likes wasting components. So 5 is just a good enough number between 3 and 10. You take those rounds to the shooting range and measure your actual muzzle velocity. And remember, you need at least 5 good measurements. And then you can come back to GRT and continue with tuning your recipe. We can take it from there next week. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, subscribe to my channel, and come back and join me in part 2 when we fine-tune this recipe further. Thank you for your time. Have a good day, and I hope to see you soon back. Bye.